Hey guys, today we're going to do a video on Mad Grip gloves and how to modify them for Tough Mudder and other obstacle races such as Spartan Race, the Tough Bloke Challenge, etc. For those of you who aren't aware, a lot of guys do like using the Mad Grip gloves. If you Google it, you'll see there's a lot of people out there who highly recommend them. I'm one of those people, and I've just run my first Tough Mudder and they work great, so I went out and bought another pair just so I could make this video and show you how I did it. Next up, you might want a pen just to mark a few things out. You obviously need scissors, and I also use some Scotchgard as well at the end. So you might wonder why I cut the fingers off the gloves. I just find that having a full finger glove is a little bit bulky. Also, if you do need to to scratch your face or something like that, it's not easy if you've just got like a big blob of rubber wrapped around each finger. So first step, guys, is just to chuck the glove on, get an idea of the feel. Maybe use the pen to mark out whereabouts you're going to cut. And a good tip here is it's always better to cut less than more. If you only cut a small bit at a time, that way if you need a little bit more off, you can cut some more off. But if you cut too much on the first go, well, you can't add any of that material back on. So we'll just do that, guys. I'll chuck them on and mark out where I'm going to cut them. Okay guys, I've just marked with some black pen where I'm going to cut each glove. At this stage I'm just cutting a very little bit off, just to, as I said, get an idea of how it feels with the tips cut off, and then I'll probably trim a little bit off each finger individually just until I get it down to the right feel. You'll know when it feels comfortable, and that's the main thing. So I'm just going to cut the tips off the gloves now. Okay, now that that's done, you just want to put the glove back on and see how it feels. As I said, in this instance, I just cut the bare minimum off just to kind of show you what I mean. Unfortunately, in Australia, they only seem to stock the XXL glove. Bunnings is their main distributor from what I can tell, and I went to 3 of their stores and they only had XXL, so you can tell that the palm is a little bit bigger, and I feel if these were a small to medium glove, they'd probably fit my hand a bit better, and I probably wouldn't have to chop as much as I'm going to have to chop off. So you can see, especially with the thumb here, there's a lot of excess material, and that's just not going to be very good. It's going to fill with water, get dirt and all kinds of crud in there. The middle fingers, it fits quite a bit better. You can see there's obviously a little bit of excess towards the top, but as I said, I'm going to cut that off. And the next stage is just to take another centimetre or 2 off each finger and see how it's feeling. For guys who have a bigger hand, I reckon a centimetre, another centimetre will be just about perfect. For someone like myself, we might just need to go a third round and just trim it that little bit more until we find the right fit. Alright guys, that gives you an idea of the extra length I kind of cut off each thumb, each finger, just another centimetre or so. And as you can tell now, the glove's fitting a lot better. As I said, these gloves are extra large, which kind of sucks, so the thumb's always going to be an issue. I've just trimmed off a little bit more off each finger, and a touch more off the thumb. Now you can see it still covers my first knuckle, pretty much gets there on each of the fingers, and that's where I feel comfortable having it for my hand size. The good thing about these gloves is because they are so flexible, when you do go to grip something or close your hand, it's not like you can feel the tightness when you're bending your fingers. There's a lot of gloves out there, especially ones made with leather or like a heavy bonded fabric, that it's almost like stiff closing your hand or gripping, but these are just super flexible. You got full range of movement in all fingers, and that's just the way I like it. One thing you do need to be careful of is that on the end it can fray a little bit, and look, I just put that down to being something that I've got to live with. In Australia, these gloves are $20 at Bunnings, but I have seen them on American sites for as low as $9.95. So, look, even if they only last one run, you're getting good value for money there. So the next step is really just to take your existing glove, line it up with your new one, and just cut away. Alright guys, so that's the second glove complete. Feels good. Pretty much exactly the same points where I cut it. A little bit more in the thumb. I'll just trim that down again. I can just tell it's just got a little bit too much of a gap there. As I said, XXL gloves, I don't know why. But on the rest of it, the fingers feel good. As I said, still lots of flexibility there in the fingertips. The one thing I will say is that if you're wearing these gloves and you're just running along and you just, I don't know, they're annoying you for whatever reason, I've always had the mindset of being okay with just dumping them, or putting them down somewhere, or giving them to someone else. Maybe you see someone struggling, they want some gloves. I wouldn't be wanting to wear something if it was annoying me, especially if you're someone who's going for a time. So when I do these events, I'm always happy to let go of things like gloves and that kind of thing, if they are hindering me. And for $20 or $10 if you're in America, it's not a big waste if you just want to give it a shot and then find they don't work. So that's the gloves now complete. The last step is we're going to go outside and we're going to spray them with some Scotchgard. Now, Scotchgard, for people who don't have that brand overseas, it's just like a fabric protector. Won't make your gloves waterproof or anything like that, but it will help when you wash them. It just, I don't know, it does help wash them. It's kind of like a semi-waterproof type thing, but obviously when you're going underwater and through knee-deep mud and laying in mud and all that kind of stuff, your gloves are going to get dirty. But at least this way, you can jump in the shower, give them a, once you finish your event or whatever, give them a good scrub down, and then when you get home, chuck them in the washing machine or hand wash them, and they'll come up pretty good. Anyway guys, I'll just take it outside and we'll spray them, and that's the gloves done. Alright, just find somewhere that's well ventilated outside where you can just spray them. And what you're going to do is you're just going to spray all the fabric area, good liberal coat, leave them to dry, and then they're good as done. That's pretty much it.